and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm Andy. I went from depressed and suicidal to cool and edgy and living a life of abundance and butt plugs. No, wait, that's not right. Abundance and joy. If I can do it, you sure as hell can too. Ladies and gentlemen, something that happens a little bit in relationships or might come up from time to time, whether it's a casual relationship, whether it's a serious relationship, whether it's literally a blood-packed relationship. You get a knife, you cut your hand, she cuts her hand, you smush them together and you say, we are not allowed to leave each other no matter what. We are going to enter into a suicide pact. If you're that serious, some Romeo and Juliet shit, this topic today absolutely applies. And if you're just in a casual relationship, this absolutely applies. We are talking about jealousy. Jealousy and insecurity. And it's something that can come up quite a bit in, like I said, casual relationships, serious relationships. And I got my old friend, ChatGPT, to help out with today's podcast. So if you don't use ChatGPT, if you've never heard of ChatGPT, this is my old friend ChatGPT. You can go to chat.openai.com, and ChatGPT is a beautiful AI robot that will answer all of your questions. So you can be like, hi, ChatGPT, how to deal with jealousy in a relationship, please. And ChatGPT will give you amazing answers to your beautiful, well-typed out questions. Okay, being serious, I love that you can type retarded shit into ChatGPT and it will just absolutely run with it and be like, don't worry, brother, I got you. Anyway, the point is, I asked ChatGPT this question. So I said, hey, ChatGPT, I'm doing a YouTube video that will be fun and entertaining. The title is this: How to Deal with Jealousy in a Relationship, according to an AI. You are obviously the AI that I'm referring to, just so ChatGPT knows that I'm not cheating on it. So give me your best advice, and I'm going to do a video on it, basically rating how good I think your advice is, adding my own advice, etc. And what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to go through some of the answers that ChatGPT gave, and I'm going to give my own spin on it and my own experiences with jealousy and with a lot of my coaching clients who've gone through jealousy. And this is something that I've helped quite a lot of people work on because, again, jealousy can come up quite a bit. And the reason that I asked ChatGPT for some answers, because I'm trying to show a lot of you that whenever you have a struggle in dating or just in life in general, one of my first things that I will do if I'm ever really unsure is I will just Google. I'll jump straight onto Google. And my second option is I'll often just jump onto ChatGPT and say, yo, hey, give me an answer. And I'll look through all the answers and kind of try out some of the advice. And sometimes the advice isn't like maybe perfect, but it's like 75% of the way there. Same with Google. And so it's a really nice starting point. So I'm trying to show you that if you're ever unsure about something, you don't have to go out and like try and figure out where the answer could possibly come from. Just Google it or ask ChatGPT. So ChatGPT replied and said, dealing with jealousy in relationships can be challenging, but with understanding and effective communication, it is possible to manage these feelings constructively. Here are some tips to help you navigate jealousy. And I, Andy, am obviously going to give my own input as well along the way. All right, so the first piece of advice from ChatGPT on dealing with insecurity or dealing with jealousy is start with self-reflection. Start by reflecting on the underlying causes of your jealousy. Understand the triggers and insecurities that may be contributing to these feelings. This self-awareness will help you address the root issue. So that all might sound a little bit vague, but I kind of add my own little spin on this, and I've just come to see that all jealousy is really just insecurity. In other words, the baby steps of how you start working through your jealousy or overcoming jealousy or being a less jealous person is by working on yourself. If you're completely secure in who you are, there is no jealousy. And this doesn't just apply to sex. This applies to everything. If you're jealous of some YouTuber who's making tons of money or some famous influencer, or you're jealous of like rich people, you're jealous of people who are taller than you or any of that sort of stuff, whoever you might be jealous of, realize that that's a reflection on you. You're seeing your own reflection in them. You're looking at them and you're not actually seeing them. You're seeing your own insecurity staring back at you. In other words, if you can get to a point where you're relatively happy with who you are, and that can be through self improvement, that can be through achieving goals, taking baby steps towards those goals. But when you start to become happy with who you are, you don't really care what anyone else is doing. In fact, you start to become happy for them. And if you're the man or the woman who really likes themselves or is really happy and grateful for their life, there is no jealousy. You look at someone else who's crushing it and you say, wow, that's amazing. I'm glad you're kicking ass. You look at someone who's rich and you say, that's awesome. You look at your partner and instead of feeling jealous or insecure, you're like, I just want the best for you. Whatever you want is what I want. And then I'm going to do what I want as well. I'm going to do my thing. You're going to do your thing. Isn't that beautiful? So some books that really help with this, and you all probably knew this one was coming. Byron Katie's book, I Need Your Love, Is That True? This is the best book that I've ever read on jealousy and insecurity and how to move past that. In other words, how to appreciate yourself, how to like yourself, how to even love yourself, and not feel that pain of that jealousy or that insecurity. Another exercise that I recommend to people is my 50 things about yourself that are likable exercise. So you will get out a big piece of paper or you'll write it down on your laptop or whatever, and you will write down 50 things about yourself that are likable, 50 qualities that you have, or 50 things about yourself that are, that someone else might like. And take your time with this. If you can't get 50 all at once, that's okay. You have the rest of your life to get to 50 things, but starting to flesh out what it is about yourself that's likable is you basically building your own self-esteem. And that's what this is about. People think jealousy or insecurity means it's about the other person. The other person is making me jealous. No, no other human being can make you jealous. They might be a trigger for your own insecurity, but if you build that self-esteem and write out a list of things about yourself that are likable, there is no jealousy because you're like, I'm likable. If this other person doesn't like me, or if they go away and they cheat on me, or they leave me, or they start getting feelings for someone else, or they're spending more time with someone else, great, brilliant. I have 50 things about myself that are likable. And really, you'll have hundreds of things about yourself that are likable, but it might take you a little while to realize that. All of you listening have thousands of gifts and parts of yourself that you could offer to someone else. You all have inherent qualities. You might not think that. You might not believe that. You might believe that you're a piece of shit that's unworthy of love. I used to feel like that. But if you take your time with this exercise, you can get to 50 things. Literally everybody can. And if you feel like I can't write 50 things about myself that are likable, go and create those 50 things. In other words, go out into the world and start doing things that are worthy of your own respect. Start going to meetups, start talking to strangers on the street and saying hello, volunteer for a homeless shelter or something. Start doing things out in the world that make you feel like you're worthy of that love or that respect. And again, this book is really good for that because this is a book on how to love yourself instead of wishing someone else would give you that love. And so, yeah, start with this exercise of 50 things about yourself that are likable. Because again, to really underline it, the person who likes themselves doesn't feel any jealousy, or jealousy might come up from time to time. And then you will look at it, you will notice it, you'll go, hey, I'm feeling a little jealous. Isn't that interesting? Okay, what can I do to bring it back to me? What can I do to focus back on myself and keep building that self-esteem? And I'm telling you, this is the answer. The answer is not, oh, I need to control my partner and stop them from spending time with people that I don't want them to spend time with, or I need to start checking their phone, or I need to start doubling down and making them love me or something like that. No, that just leads to pain. That just leads to more suffering. That just leads often to them doing the behavior in secret. It's not about them. It feels like it is. Jealousy often feels like it's about the other person, but it's not. It's about you. And again, the same thing applies to stuff like money or famous people or celebrities or any of that sort of stuff. If you're jealous of people who have those things, jealous of famous people, jealous of rich people, whatever it might be, jealous of someone who seems happy when you're not happy, jealous of someone who's in a relationship and you're not in a relationship, it's not about them. It's about you. So bring it back to you. Or another way of phrasing that is you can't control them. You can't stop rich people from existing in the world. And so if you're jealous of people who have money, that's always going to be there. And so rather than focusing on the other person and what they have, but you don't have that, rather than envying them, bring it back to you and improve what you have right here. improve that relationship with yourself, which part of that is writing a list of 50 things that are likable, and then take the baby steps, take the action to start improving your life. If you're jealous of people that have money, start making money. I've done videos on this topic. So if you go into my channel, there's a playlist called Money/Financial Abundance. Click on that playlist. I've got videos on literally how to earn your first dollar. Here is how to start making money. This is how to earn your first dollar. This is how to help other people around you and make money from that and basically build an audience. Here is how to make your first $100. In my coaching program, we have a video called How to Make Your First $500. It's okay to be afraid when you're making money. Here's some lessons that I've learned from making roughly at this point in time around 10 to 15K a month. Like that's on average how much I make. I interviewed Caleb Jones on how to start a business. Here is my ultimate guide on how to start a business. Here is a coaching client of ours that went from $20,000 a month to $45,000 a month. We helped him with that in his coaching. Here's how to grow an audience if you want to do something similar to what I'm doing. Basically, I have a whole bunch of videos of like how to make money. How we made $50,000 in 1 month. That was our best month. So any of this kind of shit, just go through these and start making some damn money. If you're jealous of people that are in a relationship and maybe you're not in a relationship, start taking the baby steps towards making that happen. I have God knows how much content on my channel, on my Spotify, on my blog, on how to start a relationship, how to build yourself up, how to improve yourself. But the point is, rather than being jealous of what other people have, or jealous of what your partner might be doing, jealous they're going to cheat on you or something like that, focus on yourself, improve yourself, and the jealousy disappears. You don't care about jealousy anymore. You want other people to be happy when you're happy in yourself. Jealousy only comes from insecurity and a lack of feeling like you're not happy with yourself, and then you project that out onto other people. So start here, start with yourself, improve yourself. All right, second bit of advice from ChatGPT when it comes to jealousy in relationships is open communication. Communicate openly and honestly with your partner about your feelings of jealousy. Express your concerns without blaming or accusing them. Create a safe space for an open dialogue, allowing both of you to express your perspectives and work towards solutions. All of that might sound a little vague and might sound a little bit like how a therapist or someone like that would talk, but basically what ChatGPT is saying is what I say all the time. If you're feeling something, you can just tell the other person. They're on your team. They're not the enemy. If you're feeling jealousy, you can be like, yo, I'm feeling a bit of jealousy. Can we talk about that? Or you could go to your friends and talk about that. But yeah, jealousy is something that Imogen and I have talked about a metric fuck ton in our relationship. We've been together for 6 years at this point, and there have been moments where we've both felt jealous. I've felt jealous of her sometimes. She's felt jealous of me. And what we do is we sit there and we talk about it and we say, okay, like, how can we solve this problem? And like I said, every single time we realize, oh, it's not about you. You're not making me jealous. I'm not secure in myself. Cool. How can I fix that? How can I improve that? And there's been times where she was jealous of me with you guys. Like, that sounds like a clumsy way of saying it, but she was jealous that I had my own big project. I have this YouTube channel, I have my podcast, I have my blog, I have my coaching, all of that. I very much have a mission. I'm here to help improve all of your lives as much as I possibly can. I have a direction. I know what I'm doing. And for a while, she was a little jealous of that. She was a little insecure about that. She was like, I don't have anything that I'm building. I don't have anything that's important to me. What if you, Andy, get bored of me or you leave me behind or something? You got this big mission that you're on. What if you shoot off into the stratosphere and you build all these big, amazing, beautiful things? I know you have all these big plans for your content and your community and all of that. What if I get left behind? What if you just see me as the boring girlfriend who has nothing to offer and isn't doing anything amazing? And she was very jealous. And so we focused on that and we said, okay, what do you want to do about that? And that's when she started to put herself more towards her art and to start putting effort into that sort of stuff and building beautiful things. And you guys can't see it, but there's this really big, beautiful painting in my living room that she did for me. And she did I think she'll be slightly embarrassed me mentioning this, but whatever. I've mentioned this to enough people. She won an art prize. She won a $6,000 art prize at a local art gallery, and she started really putting herself towards her art. And there were times in the early days when she was jealous of me with other women, like even when we were having threesomes together. She might look at another woman and be jealous of something that I maybe did with her that I hadn't done as much with Imogen, like with her. Or she might be jealous of the other girl and be like, well, she's got bigger boobs than me, or her pussy is prettier than me, or she seems sweeter than me, or like, something like that. Which obviously, if you're a little insecure in yourself, having another person there who's of the same gender as you, it's almost like a mirror that can be reflected back on you. And so we focused on that and we learned pretty quickly. It took us probably, okay, I say quickly, it took us probably 6 months to figure this out. For a long time, we thought it was the other girl. Not that it was the other girl's fault, but we were like, we had all sorts of weird solutions at the start. We were like, should we just date less attractive girls so then you don't feel jealous? Should I only do things with those girls that I do with you? Should I give you, Imogen, more attention than I give the other girl? Like, the other girl is the one who's making you feel jealous, so maybe she's the problem. But at some point, going through that, it started to click with us, and we were like, wait, this isn't about the other woman. It's never about the other woman. It's about you. You don't feel comfortable in your body. And whether there was another woman there or not, that truth would still be there. That truth that you don't like your body. You're not happy with your body. You don't feel like you're good enough to please a partner. You don't feel like you're pretty enough. You don't feel like your boobs are big enough. Like all of that kind of stuff. Let's deal with that. Let's improve that. Regardless of what happens with me, Andy, or any threesomes, regardless of if you and I break up or whatever, like no matter what happens, that insecurity is still going to be there. And that will just follow you around into the next relationship that you would to get in. And so let's work on that now. And so we did things like write a list of things about yourself that are likable. She went to counseling. I would write lists to her of things that I liked about her body. And I would let her just sit with that and read that over the next couple of weeks. And so we focused more on herself and her own self-love. And we talked about it and did all of that stuff. And eventually, and it took a bit of time, you don't just usually completely eradicate self-doubt and insecurity and all of that overnight. But it took a little bit of time, and over time she was able to start liking her body. And another thing that she did is she would look in the mirror at herself completely naked. And if any of you want to try that, be gentle with that. If you're someone that has low self-esteem when it comes to your body, maybe you've had a lot of weight in the past or something and you've lost it and there's still some insecurity there. Maybe you just don't love your body for whatever reason. Be gentle with this exercise, but standing in front of the mirror completely naked and just going through each part of your body, like each body part, and coming up with a couple of reasons why you love that body part or why you're grateful for that body part. And even if it's reasons like, you might look at your tummy and maybe you have a big tummy, maybe you got some weight to lose right there, and you look at it and everything you've ever said to yourself when you look at your tummy is negative. Like you say, like, I'm disgusting, I'm fat, this is gross, why would someone want me, I'm, old, or whatever it might be. Rather than saying those things, come up with one or two reasons why you're grateful for that body part. So you might look at your tummy and look at all the fat there, and you might say, I'm grateful for this fat. This fat is here to keep me safe. Literally, that is the purpose of fat. We store fat so that we don't die if we don't have any food to eat. Like literally, it is there to keep you alive. How could that not be a beautiful thing? You might look at the organs underneath that fat and say, I'm grateful for my tummy for processing all the food that I give it. Sometimes I give it junk food. Sometimes I throw a whole bunch of fucking alcohol and caffeine at my little tummy, and it does a pretty good job, like turning all of that into energy. Like, isn't that beautiful? And you go through each of your body parts and say something that you're grateful for or something that you like about that body part. And so doing exercises like these and just talking about it, like ChatGPT says, communicating about the jealousy and the insecurity helped get her to a point where now she's absolutely fucking comfortable. It doesn't mean that she always loves her body. She's someone that used to be bulimic and would binge eat along with that. It's like that obviously comes with a lot of baggage. That's how she went through all of her teenage years. I think from the age of like 13 until like 20, she was binge eating and then being bulimic, which is where you make yourself throw up, like throw the food up, almost like anorexia, And so she obviously had a lot of baggage with that. And so there are still times where, yeah, she doesn't like her body. But with that, I guess another thing that we've done is once a week, we do what we call our weekly accountability check-in. and she and I will go for a big walk and we will talk about our relationship and we ask each other a bunch of questions. How's our goals going? How can we keep each other accountable? What did we do well? What are we grateful for? What would we like to improve? And one of the questions that I ask her every week is, did you love your body this week? Or was the self-talk a little bit negative? And so that's still something that she's working on, but she has come like she's made an insane amount of progress. She's come such a long way. And it's now at the point where she basically never really feels jealous around other girls, at least not in the bedroom when we're having sex. Sometimes she will feel jealous, like if we go out on a Friday or a Saturday night and she sees a bunch of pretty girls dressed up in, really nice clothes, or if she goes on Instagram and she sees all these hot like influencers, that will make her feel a little insecure. But anytime that happens, she's now able to reflect on that and say, wow, I'm grateful for these pretty women making me feel jealous and insecure, because now I know that there's still something left to work on in myself. I can keep improving that self-esteem, and I can look at these pretty women and be happy for them. And again, she's not always perfect with that, but she does a pretty good job. And I've done the same thing with some of the things that I've been jealous of. For me, I've mostly been jealous of people who have a consistent income, because for the last 4 years, my income has not been consistent. It's like I have to at times bust my ass and do things like have a sale with my coaching and offer a discount, or I have to push a lot. I have to do like a fuckload of content talking about the coaching. I have to do coaching interviews, although I get a lot of pleasure out of those. But the point is, I put a lot of work into bringing in new people for the coaching. And there are times when I would look at someone else who's a YouTuber with maybe like, I don't know, 1 million followers or something. And I would be like, man, I'm so jealous. I wish I was at the point where I didn't have to hustle every day to bring people in. I wish that I wish that people would just magically come to me and give me money and I can just sit here and coach them and do these videos and it's easy. Like, I've felt that jealousy many, many, many times. And it would be very easy to project that onto another person and be like, fuck this YouTuber with 1 million subscribers. Like, they don't know how good they've got it. And that's what most people do. Most people project their jealousy onto someone else and hate that other person. But I've been able to talk it through with Imogen and talk it through with myself, I guess, as well, and reflect back on myself and say, okay, how can I be more patient? How can I give more value to you, the audience, so that more people will want to give me money? How can I love you more so that there's more that I'm giving so that you can improve your life more? And then some of the people that improve their lives will go, hey, fuck, I feel like giving some money to this Andy guy because he helped me. Maybe he can help me more with more coaching. And so I've always focused it back on me. And I've realized, with communicating with Imogen, I've realized that it's got nothing to do with the YouTubers that I'm jealous of. Like, that's just a person on YouTube who's living their own life. How could they possibly make me jealous? Nobody can make me jealous unless I decide that they can. And so I bring it back on myself, I reflect back on myself, and I improve myself. Okay, so the next piece of advice from ChatGPT on how to deal with jealousy is identify triggers. Identify the specific situations, behaviors, or interactions that trigger your feelings of jealousy. Understanding your triggers will help you develop strategies to address them effectively. Yeah, this is a decent one. I like this piece of advice. Basically, especially things with like me being triggered, by YouTubers who are super successful or entrepreneurs who've busted out of the hustle phase and are now into like the passive income phase or something where for the most part their bills are paid and they never have to worry about money or where their next client is going to come from. Anytime I feel jealous of that person, it's because I was doing certain things that triggered me. So if I'm going on YouTube and just like looking at the subscribers count of random people and then almost spiraling into a thought process of like, man, it must be so easy for them. As soon as that starts happening, if I'm able to identify that that's what is happening, I can stop myself and I can say, whoa, stop, calm down. Is this helping you? And so I've been able to do things like not go on social media as much. And there's many apps that can help you with this. You can kind of just uninstall all the apps from your phone, like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all of that shit. So just I don't have it on my phone and then I'm not as triggered. With someone like Imogen, she can identify that certain triggers that might set her off is if she's having a particularly rough, stressful week and she doesn't do anything to deal with it or to improve it, like she doesn't do meditation, she doesn't do yoga, she doesn't like take some time out for herself in the evenings. If she doesn't do those things, then she will often dive into jealousy. And then she'll jump on social media, start looking at all the pretty girls and start feeling jealous and all of that. And so for her, some of her triggers are not dealing with her stress. Or you could say the stress itself is the trigger. And then what she does to deal with that is meditate and yoga and all of that. So if you can sort of identify some things in your life that might be setting you off with jealousy, like if you're browsing social media and feeling jealous of all the rich people or the famous people, or if you're in a relationship and, you sitting around on the couch not doing something on the weekend while your partner is off spending time with their friends, if that causes you to feel jealousy, okay, now you've identified the trigger, which is you laying on the couch doing nothing over the weekend or just playing video games or something, which makes you jealous of other people or jealous of your partner. Okay, now we can deal with that. So if we know what one of the initial triggers is, we can then start to deal with that. Now, with that, I would add the caveat of don't be terrified of the trigger. And so I'll give an example. If a trigger for you is, I don't know, your partner goes and spends time with their friends on a Saturday night. If that triggers your jealousy, the answer to that isn't, okay, I need to fucking control my partner and stop them going out on a Friday or a Saturday night. That's just going to make the jealousy worse. And obviously, we're not here to control other human beings, and you can't anyway. At the end of the day, people are going to do whatever the fuck they want to do. You can temporarily control them, but eventually they'll get sick of that and they'll just do whatever the fuck they want anyway. But the answer isn't to be terrified of these triggers or to control them or to shut them down. It's just to notice these triggers and then change your behavior. That is called a pattern interrupt. You notice a pattern. Every time my partner goes out on a Friday night, I'm jealous, or every time I look at YouTubers, I get jealous of their money in their subscriber count. You notice that pattern and then you interrupt it, you break it, you try and do something different. So if you usually spend Friday or Saturday night on the couch and your partner is off having a great time with their friends and that makes you jealous, okay, change something. Next Friday night, go to a meetup, go to a sporting event, go play fucking social tennis or something, go do something, go outside and go for a walk and talk to some strangers. Tag along with your with your partner to see their friends. Although, generally speaking, I would push you more towards independence in a relationship rather than tagging along with your partner every time they go and socialize. But you get the point. Figure out the trigger and then change something, do something different. All right, the next piece of advice from ChatGPT is focus on trust. Jealousy often stems from a lack of trust. Work on building and reinforcing trust within your relationship. Engage in open and transparent communication, follow through on commitments, and be reliable. Trust is a foundation for a healthy relationship. Yes, but I will add the caveat that if you already feel quite insecure or quite jealous, you might not be able to trust that you can trust your partner. Trust is kind of one of these things where at the start, it can often come with a little bit of a leap of faith. When you're trusting another human being, you are to some degree being very vulnerable with them. And you're basically saying, hey, I'm hoping or I'm having faith that you won't hurt me. And so there is a little bit of faith there. So I want to add that caveat. But yes, I like the idea of building trust. And trust is something that you build. I mean, ChatGPT said that, building and reinforcing trust. But I'll add the caveat that if you're just stuck in that insecure, or if your self-esteem is quite low and you don't love yourself and you haven't worked on those things yet, it can be very hard to trust another human being. And so trust, just like jealousy, is something that we often project onto the other person. And we say, I can't trust my partner. It's something wrong with them. But a lot of the time, it's just that you're scared to trust. You're scared to take that leap of faith. And so I would almost... I like this advice, but I would almost kind of skip this maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of going back and forwards on this one. I can see the value of trust in a relationship. And obviously, the more trust you have in a relationship, the less jealousy you will have. I think we all kind of know that. But I almost wouldn't focus as much on the trust. I would focus on you. I would focus on yourself. I would build your own self-esteem. I would do the things like the 50 things about yourself that are likable exercise. I would build your own independence. I would focus on your own hobbies, your own friendship circles, your own missions, your own goals, your own self-improvement, all of that kind of stuff. And then it doesn't matter as much if you have trust or not, because you have a little bit more of the Byron Katie mindset. This book, I Need Your Love, Is That True? You'll have a little bit more of this mindset if you focus on your own life and your own self-improvement. You won't need trust. You'll be like, my life is good. If my partner cheats on me or whatever it might be that I'm jealous about them, jealous, towards them, whatever that thing I'm worried about, if they do that, that's cool. My life's great. I don't care. Like, cheat on me. Like, what do I care? Like, cheat on me, I'll just break up with you and I'll go date someone else. Like, if you can like yourself and really build your own independence, you almost don't even need trust. And I'm phrasing this in a clumsy way because trust is obviously a beautiful thing in a relationship. I trust Imogen like you would not believe, and she trusts me like I guess you would not believe again. But I wouldn't say that trust solves all the jealousy. Again, jealousy and insecurity comes from you. And so even if you trusted the other person, if you're still insecure, there might still be jealousy there. So I think this one helps, but it's not a silver bullet. I'll phrase it like that. So definitely build trust in a relationship. Absolutely. Imogen and I have done so many videos on how to do that. If you go onto my YouTube channel, click on the playlists button and then scroll down to the relationships playlist, this one right here, go in there. There's like so many videos on like how to build trust. Like literally we have so many videos on how to be honest, how to be patient with your partner, how to build that trust, like actions that you can take. So just go watch all of those videos. So trust absolutely helps, but it's not the silver bullet. Like I would get you, I guess if I'm going to sum up everything that's going to be in this video here today, I would focus on yourself and improve your own self-esteem and be happy with your life. And then on top of that, yes, build the relationship. But more than anything, if you're jealous or if you're feeling triggered by jealousy, I would focus on yourself above all else. Focus on building an awesome life, because if your life is awesome, you just don't really feel jealousy anymore. You don't feel it towards your partner. You don't feel it towards other people. You don't feel it towards rich people. You don't feel it towards people who are happier than you or more successful than you. Literally, there's no jealousy because you'll look at them and go, I'm glad they're more successful than me. That gives me something to aim for. And I'm pretty happy in my life too. Isn't it great that they're happy in their life? I hope we can both be happy in our lives together. That's amazing. I love that. So you won't be jealous if you like your life. And again, if you're not happy with your life right now, that's okay. You can take some baby steps towards that. You can start writing out a list of goals, start breaking those goals down into smaller steps that you can take right now, and then you start taking the action towards it. And be patient because some goals can take several years, but you start working on building that life that you will love, and then there's no jealousy. And imagine a life with no jealousy. Imagine a relationship with no jealousy. For a lot of you, you'd be like, holy fuck, man, I would give my left nut or my left breast. Trying to think of an equivalent for women. I would give my left nut or my left breast to never feel jealousy, or to almost never feel jealousy in a relationship. Like I would give anything for that. And I'm telling you, that is possible, but it's got to come from you. The jealousy comes from you. It's insecurity. I say this all the time. Jealousy is insecurity masquerading as jealousy. It's not jealousy, it's insecurity. So work on yourself, build that self-love, have that amazing life, or build towards that amazing life that you want, and you won't give a shit about jealousy. In other words, you'll be too busy living an awesome life to even contemplate being jealous of somebody else's life. You'll be too busy living your life to give a shit about their life. Like, you'll like their life, you'll be happy for it, but you'll be too busy living yours. All right, and this next one is everything I've been talking about so far. Practice self-care, which you might also call self-esteem. But yeah, ChatGPT goes on to say that prioritize self-care to build your self-esteem. This is exactly what I've been fucking saying. Self-esteem and confidence. Engage in activities that make you feel good about yourself, such as pursuing hobbies. Yes. Exercising. Yes. Spending time with supportive friends. Yes. Taking care of yourself strengthens your emotional well-being. Yes. Read this book that I keep mentioning, I Need Your Love, Is That True by Byron Katie. Read this book. That absolutely helps you with your self-esteem. Read Stoicism books. That will absolutely help you with all the topics that we're talking about here today. Marcus Aurelius Meditations. That's probably the best book to start with. Improve your self-esteem. Have a mission. Have a goal. Have all of those things and be busy building your own awesome life, that you're not worried about what your partner or what someone else or what a rich person or what someone who's taller than you or any of these people might be doing. If you feel jealousy, that is a beautiful, beautiful reminder that you're not happy with your own life. That's amazing. Isn't that a beautiful thing to discover about yourself and about your life? So get in there, improve that life, and you'll come to see that the jealousy kind of just fades away. You don't usually need to even deal with the jealousy if you're so busy building your own amazing life that you no longer care about what other people are doing, or you're just happy for them. And if you can get to a point where you're truly happy with your life, like blissfully happy, you can sit there and look at other people who are ahead of you or who are more successful than you, and you can go, I'm fucking happy for them. I'm glad that they're crushing it. I wonder if there's anything I could do to help them crush it even more. Or I wonder if there's something I could learn from them to help me crush it more. Maybe you even reach out to that person. You say, I'm grateful that you're kicking my ass. Not that it's even a competition. You don't even see it as a competition anymore when you're happy with your life. But you might look at them and say, or reach out to them and say, I'm happy that you're kicking ass. I'm really happy. Is there anything I could do for you? Or hey, I just wanted to send you this message that I'm happy that you're kicking ass. Like, thank you for kicking ass. You inspire me. Thank you for inspiring me. And all of this is possible. I keep saying this, but for a lot of you, you'd give anything to not be jealous or insecure anymore. I'm telling you that it's possible to replace that jealousy with instead gratitude. And if you want to play around with this a little bit, anytime you're jealous of someone else, you can give 3 reasons why you're grateful that you're jealous. That might sound like an insane statement, but one reason that you're grateful that you're jealous is, hey, this jealousy is showing me what I still have to improve, or what I can still work on and improve. That's beautiful. This jealousy is showing me that I obviously want something. If I'm feeling jealous of someone else or insecure, it's because there's something in my life that I'm not happy with. Maybe I want what they have, envy, or maybe I'm worried that they're going to leave me. So that means, I want someone that will stay with me, or I want to be comfortable in myself that I don't care if someone leaves. There are all these reasons why jealousy can be a beautiful thing. It's a mirror held up to you, and it shows you what you still have left to work on. That's amazing. Be grateful for that. And so if you can switch jealousy into gratitude, or jealousy into the statement of, okay, so I still have some work to do. Cool. I'm still a bit jealous. I still got some work to do. Great. Let's get to it. Like, man, you no longer see jealousy as this terrifying thing. You're no longer sitting around insecure, terrified of what might happen. You feel the jealousy and you're like, sweet, time to get to work. Let's fucking go, baby. So jealousy can be a beautiful thing. But self-care and building that self-esteem, yeah, you're basically building your own independence. If you have, again, I'll say it again, if you have your own amazing life going on, you don't give a shit about jealousy. Your life is too awesome for you to care about it. You're literally too busy building your life. And so you can literally take that statement as an answer to jealousy. If you're feeling a lot of jealousy, literally just become busy. And I don't mean busy as in wasting your time, but like literally every night this week, go to meetup.com and go find some social event to go to, or go to some social sports events, like playing sport, like go play social soccer, go play social tennis, go just play some social fucking sport and go meet new people, or go for a walk every single night and meditate on the meaning of life, or find a whole bunch of movies that you've always wanted to watch and you've always been passionate about, and give yourself a beautiful fucking movie week where every night you watch an old movie that you've always wanted to watch and it's beautiful and you have a great experience with it. You tell all your friends about it, or go hang out with your fucking friends, go play video games with them, go for a walk, go play sport, go do something, but build some sort of life that you're really happy about and you're really passionate about and that's really exciting to you. And then you just don't have time for this jealousy and insecurity. There's a really great quote that I think is a really good analogy for what jealousy is, or maybe why people feel jealousy. And this quote comes from one of my favorite people of all time, Henry David Thoreau. And he says, "The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation." And that applies to women too. Ignore the bit about men, but most people are sitting there quietly desperate for something more. They want something more than what they currently have. They're not happy with their life. They're not happy with themselves. They don't like where they are. They feel full of regrets, and they worry about getting to the end of their life and having a whole bunch of regrets and that feeling of, I missed out. I didn't do enough. I'm not happy with what I did. I didn't spend my time the way that I wanted to. And how does that manifest? That manifests as jealousy. This quote is basically what jealousy is. This quote, wanting or feeling quiet desperation for something more in life, wanting to do something more with your life, that's what jealousy is. You look at someone who's richer than you, or your partner who has a better social life than you, or your partner who's spending time with other people and you're feeling jealous about that. You look at that or you feel that jealousy, and it's a sign, it's a warning sign. It's your body screaming out for something more. Your body, your heart, your soul, your mind wants something more. And again, if you're sitting there feeling very jealous, it's because you don't like your life. So let's improve that. Let's start with some baby steps. Let's start going out there. Let's start building that beautiful life that you want. So you're not sitting there in quiet desperation. You're instead walking around, I guess, not even sitting, but walking around as a man or a woman of action. So don't sit around in desperation. Start taking those baby steps and doing something with your life. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, let's blast through the last five of them. Otherwise, we will be here for the next 6 millennia because I don't know if you all know this, but I like to talk. So, number six, suggestion for dealing with jealousy is challenge your negative thoughts. Recognize and challenge negative thoughts that can fuel jealousy. Ask yourself if there is evidence to support these thoughts or if they are based in assumptions or insecurities. Replace negative thoughts with positive and rational ones. So, yeah, basically some of the stuff that I've said. You can replace your jealous thoughts with like gratitude. Like, why is this jealousy a good thing? What purpose is this jealousy trying to serve? Or what could I use it for? I could use this jealousy as beautiful, beautiful motivation to go and improve my life. Anytime you feel jealousy or insecurity, it can be your best friend. I did this video, it's this one here at the top called You're Not More Fucked Up Than Anybody Else, You Just Care More. And in this, I talk about insecurity and how insecurity can be your best friend. It can be beautiful motivation. It's like fuel for the fire. You know, you're seeing someone else that's making you jealous, or maybe your partner is making you, or you're feeling jealous when you think about your partner. Beautiful. Isn't that great motivation for you to improve your life, build that beautiful, amazing life that you have always wanted? So then you won't feel so jealous. You won't care what the other person is doing because you're too busy living an amazing, beautiful life. And if anything, you'll be happy for them and you'll just want them to be happy too. All right, this next one is literally everything I've been saying in today's video. Address insecurities. There's that beautiful word, insecurity. Explore and address any underlying insecurities that are contributing to the jealousy. This may involve self reflection, therapy, or seeking support from trusted friends or professionals to work through these insecurities. Yeah, or you can just get a big piece of paper out and say, what am I not happy with? You know, I'm feeling this jealousy towards my partner or towards rich people or towards tall people or towards people with more success than me, you know, whatever it might be. I'm feeling this insecurity or this jealousy. What am I not happy with in myself? Do I wish that I had more money? Do I wish that I was more attractive? Do I wish that I was just more successful? Do I wish I had more friends? Do I wish I had respect? Am I jealous of the fact that they have power and I seem to have none? Like, what am I actually insecure or jealous about? And then you can start taking some baby steps towards improving those things. Again, you're not jealous, or we call it jealousy, but it's insecurity masquerading as jealousy. It's insecurity in yourself. It's unhappiness with your situation. The man or the woman who is truly happy with their life and feels like they have abundance or they have a mindset of abundance, that person doesn't feel jealousy. They feel nothing but love for their fellow human beings, no matter what that human being might have. If you have enough, you don't care how much someone else has. And part of having enough is going out there and achieving goals and building things and all of that. And it's also a mindset. You know, abundance mentality is a mentality, it's a mindset. And part of how you can build that mindset is every day write down a list of 10 things that you're grateful for in your life so you can show yourself that you already have an abundance. You just weren't noticing it, or you were ignoring it because you were too busy looking at what that person has. You were too busy looking over there and saying, they have more than me, or they're happier than me, or they're better than me, or my partner seems happier than me, blah, blah, blah. I don't have enough. But if you can bring it back to yourself and say, okay, what do I have right now? Let me at least be grateful for that. And then if I want more, beautiful. Let's start building that. This next one applies more to relationships than like other people that you might be jealous of. So this is more for if you're jealous of like a partner that you're dating or that you're having sex with. Set clear boundaries. Establish clear boundaries with your partner that align with your comfort levels and values. Clearly communicate these boundaries to ensure both of you understand each other's expectations and limitations. Yeah, this is a fair one. I don't have a whole lot to say about this. Now, part of boundaries doesn't mean controlling the other people, the other person. I think that's where people go a little bit wrong, or they, not wrong, but they set themselves down a path of like stress and manipulation and trying to control the other person. So we don't control someone else in order for them to not overstep our boundaries. We set our boundaries. We're very clear about that. Sometimes you might have to say it several times to really get it across to someone that you're serious about these boundaries. And then if someone oversteps these boundaries, you figure out what to do. Maybe you talk about it. Maybe you see that they didn't really mean to overstep your boundaries and they get it now and you can work towards a solution together. Or maybe they don't care about your boundaries. And then you ask yourself the question of like, okay, do I want to pull back a little bit? Do I want to disengage from this relationship or this friendship or whatever it is? Do I want to go somewhere else? Like, what do I want to do about this boundary being overstepped? Rather than what most people do with boundaries is they go, you overstep my boundary. You're a bad person. You need to stop. I'm going to manipulate you. I'm going to control you. You need to just do what I want. And that just leads to stress. We can't really control other people. And this book here really helps with this concept. I need your love. Is that true? This book is all about the fact that, yeah, you can't control other people. And this book is really good on how to set your own boundaries and then what to do if they're ever overstepped. And the answer most of the time is, like I said, try and work with the person, see if they understand that they overstepped your boundaries and come up with a solution together, or you fucking leave. Or you just don't spend as much time with that person and you go and find someone else who will respect your boundaries. So, yeah, I like the discussion on boundaries. That's great. The next one is kind of a repeat of one of the previous ones, the one that was talking about communication. I'll read it out anyway, but I don't have a lot extra to add to this. And it is build emotional intimacy. Focus on building emotional intimacy in your relationship. Share your thoughts, fears, desires with your partner and encourage them to do the same. Strengthening your emotional connection can alleviate feelings of insecurity and jealousy. So that's pretty similar to what we said before, which is, like communicate and build trust. Focus on trust. So open communication, focus on trust. Basically the same thing as this one here about building emotional intimacy. And obviously this one applies more for a relationship. But if you're jealous of like someone who has more money than you or someone who has more success than you, you're probably not going to build emotional intimacy with someone that you're never going to meet, so fine. But this one's more about relationships. And obviously emotional intimacy and vulnerability and sharing things and treating your partner like they're on the same team rather than your enemy or the other. Yeah, all of these things help. I've got plenty of videos about how to do this. But yeah, I like this one, but not that much more to add to that. And number 10 way of dealing with jealousy is seek professional help if needed. If jealousy becomes overwhelming or God, it's hard to talk sometimes, or significantly impacts your well-being and the relationship, consider seeking professional help. A therapist or a counselor can provide guidance and support in managing jealousy effectively. Yeah, that's not a bad shout. You can also like talk to your friends. I know that was mentioned sort of earlier in this, but you can talk to friends, talk to someone else. My coaching is obviously like I'm happy to sit down with you for a coaching call, or you can join the coaching program. We have had people that have like literally come to us to deal with jealousy. Probably the best example is a guy who's now one of my coaches in the program. This beautiful man here, Taylor. So probably this video is the one where we talk about jealousy. So it's the one that says spirituality improves your sex life, but that's not why we're into it. He and I sat down like 2 weeks ago and we talked about all of this and we talked about jealousy. So when he first came to me for coaching, he basically came to me to work through jealousy and insecurity. He was with a partner at the time, they're in a relationship, and he felt jealous about her past and her sexual past. She'd had a fair bit of sex in college and she'd explored herself and done all of that, cool, fun stuff. And I think she'd had like threesomes and stuff like that. And he felt very jealous because he was someone who was a little bit less experienced or a lot less experienced. And he felt like he had missed out during college and he hadn't done a whole lot of sex stuff. And he felt jealous whenever he thought about her relationship or her past, sorry. And it was really starting to affect him. And so he literally came to us. I mean, he had some other goals, but that was like the main goal. He was like, I'm in this relationship. I love this girl. She loves me. How do I work through this jealousy shit? How do I let go of this? And the biggest thing I got across to him, obviously, was like, it's not jealousy, it's insecurity. You're not happy in yourself. And the second thing we got across to him was like communication and talk to her. Like, start taking baby steps with this stuff. Tell her that you feel jealous. And I think he already had told her a little bit, but start working through this stuff and take baby steps with this. Be gentle with this. But yeah, he has come leaps and bounds. This was like a year ago. I think I started working with him a year ago. And like I said, he's now a coach in the coaching program. That's how far this guy has gone and how far he has improved. At the top here is an interview I did with him. You can just search for he moved to prioritize his sex life. We talked about, him improving his sex life, him working through his jealousy, all of that kind of stuff, him having threesomes. Here is an interview I did with him about his first threesome and how that went. Recently, I also sat down with him and Ed and Cam, my three other coaches in the coaching program, and we talked about a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, Taylor has done amazing things. He's such an amazing human being too. He's such a sweet guy. He's like truly like the nicest human being you'll ever fucking meet. All of my coaches are, obviously. But yes, like the point being, professional help can help with that. You can hit me up, like I said, if you want coaching with any of this stuff. I'm very happy to work through this. We have quite a few people that feel like jealousy and insecurity. It's quite a common thing. And so if you're feeling very jealous or you're feeling insecure, obviously be gentle with yourself and realize that you're not alone. This is a very common thing that people feel, like jealousy and insecurity, especially in a fucking relationship, but even just in life in general. Like people feel jealous of the Instagrammer who has 1 million followers. Like literally that is part of why a lot of influencers are flaunting everything. It's to sort of not make you feel jealous, I guess, but like to show off how cool their life is. That's part of their marketing. Like that's part of why they're an influencer. They're showing you how cool their life is. Of course, a lot of people are going to feel jealous about that. Same with people who have a lot of money, a lot of success, people who are just ahead of you in whatever goal. It's very normal to feel jealous and insecure. But those feelings don't have to be a bad thing. They can be a beautiful thing. They can be great motivation. Let me make myself full screen here. They can be great motivation. They can be fuel for the fire. They can be like, man, just that like impetus for you to go out and start living the life that you want, for you to make the changes, to take the baby steps, to build your own independence, to build your own awesome life, so that you're not looking at other people and saying, how come they have all that? Or how come, they're making me jealous? No, you're too busy looking at your own life and saying, wow, I like this. Or I'm starting to like this life more and more with every day that passes. So focus on making those little improvements. Focus on taking those baby steps. If you feel jealousy, if you feel insecurity, congratulations, you are a human. You are normal. I promise you I felt these feelings 1 billion fucking times. And every time I feel jealous or insecure, I bring it back to myself. I focus back on me and I say, what do I want to do to improve, to become more of the person that I want to be, or to guide myself towards that life that I want to live? And along with that, in the moment, right now, what do I have to be grateful for? What can I be grateful for right now? What can I appreciate about my own life? So I'm not looking at other people's lives and going, I wish I had that. Or looking at my partner and going, I'm jealous, I'm insecure about something. No, I'm too busy living my own cool life. So take your time with this stuff, baby steps. Like I said, if you want my help with this, I am very fucking happy to help. I have $200 coaching calls if you want to just sit down with me and talk for a couple of hours and deal with this stuff. I'll sit there and listen. I will love you. I'll give you every sort of support that I possibly can. If you want to join the hardcore coaching program, you can do our group coaching program, obviously with me, Cam, Ed, Taylor, and the other people in the program. Or I'm also offering one-on-one coaching, which is all of that. Plus, you can sit down with me on top of that once a week for a weekly call with just me for as many hours as we want. And you can message me every day with any questions you might have or anything you're struggling with. Spaces are limited. I already have 2 people. Sorry, I have 1 and someone else wants to sign up. So probably I already have 2 people. So I'm probably not going to take many more people than that at a time. So if you want that, jump on that. But links to all of this beautiful stuff down below. As always, ladies and gentlemen, go out there, crush those goals, and build an awesome life for yourself. Right? If you're feeling jealousy, it's because you're not quite happy in yourself, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with not being happy with yourself, but that is a situation that can be improved with little baby steps, taking more action, and moving towards the person that you want to be and the person that I know you can be.